The United States lost a war, not to another country, to a native nation. And the men who broke them were Red Cloud and Crazy Horse. They named it Progress, but every road they carved was through the bones of those who stood in their way. It all started with the Bozeman Trail, cut straight through sacred Lakota land. The U.S. wanted the gold fields and didn't care who they had to kill to get there. They built that road knowing it violated their own treaty, because greed always comes before promises. But Red Cloud and Crazy Horse weren't about to beg. They gave them one warning. Step into our land and we'll bury you in it. The U.S. government sent troops and built forts, arrogant enough to think a paper treaty meant anything. Red Cloud didn't meet them at the table. He met them on the battlefield with Crazy Horse leading the charge. They united the Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho, and unleashed hell. They didn't target settlers. They hunted soldiers. Ambush after ambush. Forts starved out. Supply lines cut until the U.S. military couldn't breathe. And then came the massacre that broke their pride. The Fetterman Fight. 81 soldiers marched out chasing shadows. Crazy Horse led the decoy and drew them into a trap. Every single one of them wiped out, left frozen in the snow as proof the U.S. wasn't invincible. For 2 brutal years, the U.S. couldn't win, and Red Cloud and Crazy Horse weren't fighting for peace. They were fighting for survival. In the end, the U.S. government did what it swore it never would. They surrendered, signed the Treaty of Fort Laramie, abandoned every fort, and walked away. The only time in U.S. history a native nation forced them to admit defeat. But like so many promises made, it didn't last. The moment gold was found in the Black Hills, the Treaty of Fort Laramie was torn apart. And just like so many others before it, that treaty was nothing more than another promise broken, because greed always speaks louder than any promise.